I still can't get over this. What is it? What is it called? Global warming. Right. Is this a sign of global warming?
Definitely a sign. Like I say, we ain't never seen that either. We've never seen this. That's why we weren't prepared for it.
He just said it snowed when Jesus was born.
Right. In Bethlehem, it snowed in the wintertime.
Oh my God.
You ain't got goose.
Oh, you didn't think it snowed back then?
I don't know. I'm thinking like, they wore animals or something. I don't know. Like, this shit is crazy, man. You really be going there. You really going to Israel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I follow you on Instagram. I be like, I be worried sometimes.
No, I'm in there, bro. I was there for 4 years.
Yeah, really?
Damn.
Wow.
Well, you was out there playing also?
Yeah, I was also playing.
But you didn't go there to play. You went there to study?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Describe that, because this is like, I believe you're the only person I know like this.
Yeah, because I mean...
Like what?
that got this rich and then goes and wants to better themselves. And, this is dope.
Yeah, man. It was definitely... It happened naturally, bro. It wasn't never a plan of me growing up. Like I want to go move to Israel. Right. It just happened.
You moved there?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was there for 4 years.
Wow.
I moved there.
In Jerusalem.
I was in Jerusalem for 3 years and 1 year in Tel Aviv.
Because Jerusalem, it's pretty bugged out though, because all the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews are all there together.
Everyone's there.
And they would think you Muslim, right? Is that like?
No, they really didn't. They didn't know what to think, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because first of all, I was going to play, so it took a lot of the eyes off of like a religious side and more so like the athletic basketball side. So I was able to somewhat, get engulfed in it without being like a religious guy in whatever sector.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I grew up an Israelite. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So my family are Hebrew Israelites, and so I was able to somewhat learn from that growing up. And then it just gravitated me to go to Israel and see what I've been learning firsthand.
Wow.
So I went there on that space.
That's dope.
Now, did they have a nightlife? Did they got clubs out there?
Yeah,
like that?
shitting me?
Yeah, Israel's booked. They got everything.
I'm reading the Bible, man. Come on.
Jerusalem's pretty religious, but Israel as a whole, like Tel Aviv is wild, man.
Listen. They
got a South Beach out there?
They got everything out there.
Hey, listen,
They got everything out there.
You got the Mediterranean Sea, right? So the Mediterranean Sea is on the coastline of Jaffa down to Tel Aviv, all through Herzliya. So all this time is all beach town.
It sounds like all fly shit to me.
Everybody, and think about this too. All the Jewish people that are there came from different parts of the world and went to Israel. So now you have this mixed culture of beautiful people that are there. Wow. You seeing all these
kinds of people,
exotic eyes, and this amazing curly hair, and this happening, like.
And you don't want to talk, wouldn't it?
Make some noise for that. Holy shit, that
don't notice.
So they say that Israel gives as much love as China does to the athletes in the NBA, or the ball game rather in total.
Yeah, you have a lot of guys that played over there. I mean, Nate Robinson played there for a while. You have a lot of
my man they knocked out?
A lot of yeah.
That's
the one that, he got, the one
Nah, that's fucked up though, right?
Yo,
he need a fair one.
I saw a lot.
He need a rematch.
No, listen, I don't know who this trainer was, man, because he was like fighting like a street fight.
Hands down, man. Because is it fair to say because it was against Jake Paul?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, he just was fighting like not in the boxing stance.
Right.
He was throwing wild, hooks. It was like,
bad training.
Just bad training, bro. It had to be bad training. Bad training.
That's ill. I never heard nobody break it down that way. Bad training.
It had to be bad training, bro.
I can tell you fuck with him though. You ain't blaming on him at all.
No, it's my guy. It's my big three partner, man. We play together in the same squad, big three.
You know, we played the Big Three. It was in the Big Three league.
You
know, actually the first time we met, I mean, I know you probably meet a lot of people, but I was in Brooklyn for that game, and I went in the post game and with you and Julius, the legend Julius
Dr. J,
and you guys were there, so I was able to talk to y'all for both of y'all for a little bit.
Right, absolutely.
That's dope.
Absolutely, man.
Damn. You fucked me over the Nate shit, man. My bad. Yo, so is it a plus when you working with a super producer, signed to a super producer, or is it a minus? Because, I don't know.
The process was fun. That was the best process I ever had making an album. It's more expensive, you know what I'm saying, to get your money back and get on the other side. It gotta be working.
You got the budget.
It just gotta work. You know what I'm saying? If it's working, if you got it, and you working with him, and y'all making hits and it's going crazy, it's good. But if it ain't going like that, then it ain't gonna make sense. It's gonna add up, But at the end of the day, man, working with Pharrell, that was the best process I ever had. But I had more success doing it without him, you know what I'm saying? Like independently, honestly, like, you know what I'm saying? So
you wish you would have stayed independent?
Huh?
You wish you would have stayed independent?
Nah, I'm happy I did that. Honestly,
Goddamn,
I had a great
shit.
time. Like, it was really a life-changing thing. Like, it was so much inspiration, you know what I'm saying? Even just being in his presence, talking to him, traveling to Japan with, you know, going to Nigo crib.
Konnichiwa.
Man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it was just so mind-blowing. I'm sure he put in plays for me to do stuff with Gwen Stefani and, you know, and maybe Beyonce. No telling, you know, he Skateboard P, you know, so no telling how far that took me. So I'm definitely happy, and that's like probably my favorite album, you know, I did, so.
But if those deals you had allowed you to still sell underground, it's almost like you major and independent.
It wasn't even me leaving the majors had nothing to do with Pharrell. It was more about the actual people.
What you prefer, major or independent?
Independent now, because you know, independent because like I say, it always been like that. I always felt independent. I don't feel like one of the mainstream rappers who gonna have songs that's be on hits radio, you know, on the radio making millions and stuff. I just feel like my voice on some underground type of. So I feel like to make the flip work, I need to be independent on my music, you know, because I might not sell 1 million every time, but if I could keep selling that 100, you know, 3 times, yeah, I'm good with that. You know, it makes sense.
Couple million right there.
You know, and then on my masters, you know, over the years it adds up. I'm doing good. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? So I like where I'm at. But at the end of the day, I did have a great time, you know, with Star Trek. What happened with that was the whole label left. My A&R left. Geffen, you know, everybody who worked there changed. So
what
now
Cypher Sounds there at that
people.
time?
Huh?
Was Cypher Sounds at Star Trek at that time?
I don't know. I don't remember, bro, on the cool. I remember meeting him, but I know he was with him. I don't know how, you know, what the... I think he was after.
Okay.
Yeah, after. Yeah, but Steven Victor was working for me, bro. Now, look at where he at right now, bro. To see, like, him, you know, Ice, everybody, man, it's a blessing, you know, to see the guys bounce up like that, man.
You like the industry?
Huh?
You like the industry?
The industry? I love it, man.
Okay.
I love everything about it. You know, really, I want us to have more ownership. That's it, bro. Like, on everything, on every
That's
level.
why we drinking stack shit right now.
Right, exactly. That's what I want to see.
Very important part.
I want to see more. I want to see. I wish it was like the Fat Farm days and shit. You know what I'm saying? FUBU, when niggas used to go to the store buy our shit. You know what I'm saying? Rock our shit. They need to get back to that, man.
How did you come into the wine thing? Like,
I mean, honestly, I was so I traveled the world doing wine tasting.
People pay you.
No, I was going on my own.
But you were trying to do that. You were trying to get into the business.
No. I was traveling anyways, right? So I go to Athens, Greece. I go to France. I go to all these places, and I would go while I'm there.
Right.
I'd take historical site to match up what I'm learning in the Bible to be artifacts and true with what I'm seeing in history.
Wow.
And then I would also go and taste wine and do the food and wine pairing.
Wow.
So when that happened, I was doing that for a few years, and then when I moved to New York, I bought this crazy penthouse in New York, and I was having these parties at the house. And the guy that was providing all the booze for me was a guy who's like into wine. He was like, his main job was like selling wine, and he mentioned to me, he's like, "Stat, you should have your own wine one day." I thought it was just kind of bluffing. I'm like, "All right, yeah, that sounds good." So I met a guy from there, and we started talking. And he's like, "Hey, you know, you can definitely have your own wine. Let's talk." So we had a conversation about it. And then it took me about, for this wine right here, for the Reserve, this label, there's 3 bottles within this collection.
Wow.
So there's Reserve, which is this one. You have the Grand Reserve, and you have the Private Collection.
Which one we drinking now?
These are from Israel. So the vineyard, this vineyard's from Israel.
Right? It's aged? How?
Yeah, this year right here is a 2017.
Okay.
And it took me like about 7 months to figure out the labels, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to build something for the Stoudemire name, for the family, for my children.
Right.
So that way when they get older, they can inherit something, the legacy.
Right.
And so I took 7 months to figure out the label that would become timeless, right?
Wow.
So, and these bottles are expensive.
Right.
And so what I wanted to do then is say I want to create a similar blend, but a lower price scale bottle.
Right.
So I linked up with the family, the Herzog family out of California, and we created the new Stoudemire wine, the Origin, which
That's
is like
out of, you said
this is out of
Napa?
California.
Okay, Napa or no?
No. Close to Napa, but it's not exactly Napa.
Okay.
I forget the actual name of the region. but it's in California.
Right.
And this is a $29 bottle.
Right.
But it has
as
the same,
opposed to this one,
but
which
it has
is
the same flavor as the expensive bottle.
Okay.
You feel me?
And
So
what did that run you?
This right here is running you $69.
60,
This is the lowest one, 69, 79, and then 99.
Okay, cool.
Are the 3 bottles.
Right.
This is 29. For the mass public, for the people who want to taste wine and have the same type of taste but can't afford these bottles, I want to create something less expensive for the mass public. So that's how we came up with this one. One interesting point about this bottle also is that the label, the artist Naturel. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with the art space, but Naturel is an artist, a world-renowned artist. He's actually one of 5 artists that was selected to be the artist for top sports, like the
cards.
playing cards.
Right.
So out of all the artists in the world, he was chosen to be one of the top 5 artists to create that particular space for tops, for cards, right? So this bottle is not only a good bottle to drink, but it's also a collector's item because this artist is a very, very world-renowned artist. So that's why you see the 3D line of Judah kind of popping out, because it's like, that's the artist Naturel.
So speaking on wines, right? Like how does a company like a Camus, Opus One, how do we make a company like yours? How do we get to that spaces? Like where you go to Carbones and these is the actual wines that they offer you. How do we get your wine to be looked at as prestigious as those type of companies?
Yeah, you know what it is that a lot of...
By the way, that was a real wine question, by the way. You know what I mean?
That's a real wine question.
That was a real wine question. I was proud of myself just now. I'm sorry.
That's a high-level wine question right there.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think the answer to that is that when you create your own wine, there's like a hierarchy, right? There's like a certain group of companies that have their hands on the pulse of wine, right? So if you're able to now create a wine and get linked up with a Southern, for an example, who's like the major distributors of wine.
Right.
These guys have, accounts with the Fontainebleau. They have accounts with these major restaurants.
Right.
And so once you get involved with them, and they'll now will be able to then allow other restaurants, bars, or clubs to call them and say, hey, do you have the Stoudemire wines?
Right.
And then they have a shipload of that, and then they can send it in.
Right.
But if you don't have a distributor like Southern or these other companies, then people, you have to do your own thing and like talk to the club yourself or talk to this person yourself and like, hey, do you mind buying my wine and putting it up for sale there?
Right. Which usually they'll ask you to get connected with the distributor to make it easier.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you some funny shit sometimes. Sometimes, I would just look at I would look at Collis or Jay's Instagram and I would see them drinking a Dujac, right? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And I would go like, and I would search this shit. Me and Diego, I would hit Diego right there. I would go like, you see Collis Instagram? He's like, yeah, I'm like, those bottles right there, I want to know what those are. And I would go, and we would go to the thing, to Total Wines or whatever, and these people would say, that's a good bottle. But here's the one that's ranked this year's top 99 or 90 or whatever they say, I forget what they say in the joint. And we would buy these wines that they recommend and some of them would suck.
Yeah. I mean, it all based on
I would be like, oh shit.
Somebody else's opinion, man. I mean, obviously, like for me, I'm the only black kosher winemaker in the world.
Right. How about Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade got something too, right?
Yeah, Dwayne got a wine also.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which means that I cracked the market that was never infiltrated before.
Wow. And these are in stores now?
He's in stores.
Wow.
Yep.
In Miami.
In Miami, yep. In the United States.
Wow, all over. Okay, goddamn it.
Yeah. So what happens with the Southern distributor? Whatever state you're in, if you want the Stoudemire wine, you got to call the company will call them and say, hey, Southern, we want to 5 cases of Stoudemire wines, and then they'll ship it out.
Right.
So it's there in that state, but you got to call. They got to call the distributor in order to get that in the stores.
Right.
And like we said, like these prestigious wine companies that's been around. What made you say your last name? Because why you didn't want to like keep it even and just.
Well, I thought about that because I wanted to somewhat.
Because like suppose a person doesn't like you as a basketball player.
Yeah.
But you still want them to buy your wine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So. Like, what made you use your name? You know what I'm saying?
I think the reason why I did it because I wanted something to last for my children, for the family, for the legacy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For them to be able to say, this is my family's wine.
Right.
That's when it comes to business, Your last name. Think about all these companies that are named after their family's last name.
I seen a clip of that on Instagram the other day.
Yeah.
Like Bentley's the last name.
Bentley's the last name.
Yeah.
All these guys are Kraft's the last name. All these are last names
that become brands that you forget is even a name.
Right, exactly.
And that's what you want.
For
it to be just a brand that rings.
Yeah, so for all that, economic empowerment, it's about really being able to provide a legacy for my children so when they become my age, they can say, this is my family's wine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they can have that prestige conversation with their friends and say, hey, we can talk boss talk. You feel me? We can talk that talk because this is my family's wine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted to name it after, like, my last name for the family.
Wow, that makes it much up.
You never had any confusion with Damon?
Damon
Stoudemire?
Yeah. Well, no, not recently. But when I first got to the league, they asked me, like, is that your family? And I told my uncle about that. I was like, Unc, are we related to the Stoudemires with the A instead of the E last name?
He was point guard for the Trailblazers.
Yeah. He was like, actually, we do, because when the Stoudemires came to America, they migrated to different parts of America. And through that transition, the lettering was changed in the last name. So
where's the name come from originally?
Stoudemire is like they say it's a Greek last name. Or not a Greek, German last name.
You play ball some though?
Not really.
Okay. You one of them tall niggas that don't know how to play ball? No!
I'm one of them tall niggas that was like, man, I ain't finna be playing basketball for free. Now I see niggas like getting $100 million.
You know what?
Listen, I'm trying to make my son play.
I think about my questions before I asked them. I swore you was gonna say, yeah, nigga. You was gonna bite you. You know we got the out of shape Olympics. we play handball on Friday. Play. Who laughed when they
I saw that handball. NORE like.
I'm gonna make this sport. I'm gonna take this sport national, man. I'm gonna make it national. It's gonna be it's an old Puerto Rican game, New York Puerto Rican game, man.
I see you be running and shit, right?
Nah, I fell off, man. I got injured, but I fell off. I'm gonna get my life back together though. But then I got injured that day. I thought I was doing ill with the handball. Turned around and ran into a weight. It was literally a weight on the floor. Boom! My big toe, my toe like this.
Football.
Yeah, my toe like this right now. I can't even hardly walk. But I'm gonna recover. I'm coming back. So we're gonna invite you to the game.